um, the Omnivirus cold.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
good. That's a good one.
Yep.
All right, you ready?
Let's do it.
Okay, well, let's do a couple more questions before we get out of here. You had one from the chat room, I believe.
Yeah, from Love It.
Love it.
Love it. Love it.
Well, I don't know if I love it or not.
Love it. That's a good question. What's the difference between the cold and the Omnivirus cold?
Yeah, the
Omicron. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So Omicron is a variant of SARS-CoV-2 because it has some genetic material in common with that virus, but it also has some genetic material of the quote-unquote common cold, which we kind of talked about this a little bit earlier in the show. That's just a term, a bucket term for all kinds of viruses that cause a mild upper respiratory infection that's viral. So we have influenza. Flu-like illness causes fever, headache, cough, and sore throat, and those kinds of things. It causes a viral tracheobronchitis, and that's pretty distinctive. So when you see somebody with a fever during flu season, first thing you're going to think of is influenza. At least it was the first thing that you would think of. Now it's more likely we're going to think COVID, and now we're starting to test for other things too. Yeah. So when people come in with flu-like illness, we now call it COVID-like illness, we test them for COVID, we test them for respiratory syncytial virus, and 2 kinds of influenza.
Gotcha.
Now, but the common cold is sort of like influenza. It can cause a sore throat. It causes a cough, make you feel crummy. Usually you don't have a fever with it. Mm-hmm. And these are caused normally by adenoviruses. There are rhinoviruses. Coronaviruses can cause them as well. And the dirty little secret about this is that about 10,000 people a year in this country, more or less, will die from quote-unquote atypical pneumonia, which we know back in the past was probably coronavirus. Mm-hmm. But we didn't test for it because there weren't enough people, and there wasn't anything you could do about it. So those people just died undiagnosed, and they on their death certificate would say atypical pneumonia, probably viral pathology or etiology, something like that. Mm-hmm. Well, now all of a sudden we care about these coronavirus infections, and so we will be testing for those now, and we can see how many quote-unquote common cold viruses cause 80-year-old people to die, because it was usually the elderly or the otherwise immunocompromised that would die from those atypical pneumonias. Not always, though. Mm-hmm. So, so this Omicron, we'll see. We don't know enough about it yet to know how virulent it is. We know it's pretty transmissible. Hopefully, what I'm hoping is that it is more transmissible than Delta, but has less chances of putting you in the hospital. If that's the case, this thing will be over just through natural selection. Right on. If it's more transmissible. If it's less transmissible, then Delta is still going to reign supreme for a while. All right?
Crazy.
Does that help?
Sounds good, guys.
Okay. So let's get this person's question in. I thought this one was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Hey, Dr. Steve. Hope you're well.
Hey, I am, man.
Oh, that's great to hear.
Yeah, thanks.
Hey, nobody wants to listen to that Philip Glass or Kyle Glass or whatever twiddly-tiddly jazz crap.
I beg to differ, my friend. What we were talking about was circular breathing, and I said that Philip Glass's Glassworks, the second song on that album, is a good example of people who were using circular breathing to play forever, it seems like, without ever seeming like they're taking a breath. They certainly didn't pause. And here's an example of that. I'm going to play, 30 seconds before we get in trouble. Those people, they never stop. Now, my son's saxophone teacher played in the Philip Glass quartet, And he talked about this circular breathing business that they had to learn. And it was crazy. So, and basically, you say, well, how can you breathe in and breathe out at the same time? Well, you can't. But what you can do is you can store up some air in your upper airway and use accessory muscles to blow it out while you're breathing in through your nose. So let's finish what this guy said, because I disagree. I love Philip Glass music.
Check out Trombone Shorty. He does that circular breathing, and, he's from this millennia.
Okay.
So there you go.
All right. So let's check out Trombone Shorty doing circular breathing. Okay, right there I'm seeing him take breaths. So let me go further into this. Okay, it says from the 2:30 mark to past the 5 mark. Okay, so I'm not there yet. Hang on, sorry. Because I'm watching him take breaths there. Okay, so I'm at 2:30. Let's see. Now he's doing it. That's amazing. I swear it's not. I'm not playing a loop. And when you watch him do it, you can see how he's doing it. But you and I could not do this. Wow.
I've seen him do this live, but I didn't realize it.
That's amazing. He's still going.
Yeah. I've seen
Trombone Shorty. Good.
I've seen him do this. He played in a festival one time we were at with Widespread Panic.
Oh yeah,
and he was playing with those guys, and you just know he's doing something crazy. But if
it sounds like he's on a loop.
It was kind of late in the evening, and it was
Yeah.
kind of hard to differentiate and figure out exactly what he's doing. But it's incredible.
It's really cool.
We may have been slightly impaired.
That is really cool as hell.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. He's talented. He's talented.